Welcome back to GMNC after an extended Heritage Day long weekend break. I'm Ange Phoenix and I will be your anchor for the duration of our 1 hour morning show. As always, we promise to deliver a jam-packed lineup, starting with Claudia Greenwood, who gets us back into the swing of things with her dose of inspiration to take us into the day. Before Ndlondlo Reptile Parks, Neville and Helen join us for their weekly slot. And today we learn all about the red-lipped herald. What an inspiration Grant Oosthuyzen from Get Inspired is to so many people, and we look forward to hearing his story and more about his passion to promote the well-being of the disabled community. Local tourism warrior Managay Pillay takes up a seat on this World Tourism Day, and while we celebrate many local gems, Managay and I will be discussing what local tourism authorities are doing or not doing to grow our region and how our local area is perceived to visitors. You have all heard about our amazing coffee sponsors, and we celebrate Performance Coffee today and bring you an interview with Gail Bradfield. Sport anchor Matt Williams takes over the helm to give us a roundup on all things sport, and then we head over to Heili and Deon for our daily weather and surf report. Today's show is closed out with a music video from Faber before the kids get their time with Laugh Out Larry. As always, thank you to Performance Coffee, authorized dealer of Euro coffee machines, and Salt Rock Coffee as our morning show coffee sponsors. So let's get straight into it. Good morning, Claudia. How are you?
Hi, Ange. Good, and you?
Good to have you with us.
Thank you.
Claudia, what's on your heart today? What would you like to share?
Okay, today we're going to talk about self-love. And it's a topic, Ange, that's come up so often recently with people who seem to think that it's okay just to put everybody else before their own needs. So firstly, I just want to talk a little bit about what self-love is and what it isn't. Okay, let's just put a few things aside. It's not about being selfish. And it's not about being egoistic or being unkind. It's got nothing to do with that. It's just about saying, well, you know, how do I fit into my own life? How do I appreciate myself? How am I taking care of myself?
Exactly.
Okay. Caring is on different levels. It's how am I nurturing my body, my mind, my soul. So am I doing the things that are bringing me joy? Am I putting a whole lot of things aside and not actually taking care of myself and maybe just, you know, paying more attention to other people?
Yes, yeah.
So the message here and that I want to just share with people today is go find within yourself, what are the important things to you? What brings you joy? What brings you that fulfillment? And so often we think that, you know, we need to just do things for other people and then that makes us feel good. And I've got to admit, that does make me feel good when I do things for other people. Sometimes we do that to such an extent that we start actually losing ourselves and what's important to ourselves. So we sometimes think, well, what will other people think of me, and if I don't do this? Or maybe I should be doing something because it will please other people. This is not about pleasing other people all the time. Yes, there is an element of that to help and show up for other people. But what I want to encourage people to do is look at yourself and just do a little evaluation. Are you taking care of your body? Are you exercising? Are you eating good, healthy, nutritious food? That's about loving yourself and loving your body.
Correct.
Are you embarking or taking on that hobby and doing something that you actually enjoy? Are you giving yourself some extra time and, you know, taking care of yourself? Just declutter, unwind, breathe. Take that breath and stop being on the go all the time for other people, because that's not always getting you anywhere. At the end of the day, we need to show up for ourselves first before we can be strong enough and love other people the way that we want to love and care for other people.
It's almost like you need to fill yourself first, because you can't give if you're running on empty, you know, at the end of the day. And I think it's individual to everybody. You know, self-love for you might mean, you know, a day off, you know, lying at the beach reading a book, while another person might be a jog or a hike in the mountains, whatever is relevant to you and speaks to you as an individual. But so important and so neglected in today's society, especially mom, as we were talking earlier before the show. I
Yes.
think the moms out there are so adamant, life is busy, you're working, you've got the kids, you've got all these things you need to do, and you oftentimes just forget who you are. And that in turns, I think, oftentimes, roll into our relationships as well with our partners, because they don't get the necessary attention either because you're so busy, you're not present.
Yes, absolutely. And another thing is that we should think about is what is toxic in our lives? There are toxic people or toxic behaviors and habits that we actually take on and create for ourselves. Is let go of those. Things that aren't good for you or people that aren't good for you, well, just acknowledge it and say, okay, you know what, we're not aligned right now. I need to move on. I need to pass these things on to somebody else. Let's work as a team.
Yes.
But show up for yourself first. And on that note, what I'd like to encourage everyone to do out there is, because we've got to do some sort of action. This is not just about talking.
No.
So a very, quite an amazing, very simple exercise to do is take today, for instance. Okay, by the end of the day or throughout the day, just make 2 lists. One is, what am I doing for other people? And the other list is, what am I doing for myself? Okay, and at the end of the day, just have a look at how much you're actually doing for others.
Yes.
And you'll find that most people find that the list of what they do for themselves is like this short compared to the list of what they're doing for other
Correct.
people. And you know what? A lot of people would actually put down, well, yes, I shower, I brush my teeth, okay, and I care for my family. Yes, and those things are good and they're
great.
important. But you know what? When you evaluate the whole picture, just stand back and say, surely I deserve more than this.
Absolutely.
And make those adjustments. Show up for yourself first, and then you can be stronger for others. That's what self-love is all about. Take care of yourself, nurture yourself, get into those good habits.
Awesome.
But do that little check.
Absolutely, and I think it's really a challenge. I think we can, as women especially, and then obviously for men as well, but we can challenge each other and just start something, start a new routine, and like you say, it's proactive at the end of the day.
Yes.
Enough talking, you have to actively do something, and sometimes it's not always comfortable, it's not always easy, it's not always pleasant, but the reward at the end is so much greater than just, stagnating and not doing anything about it.
Sure, Angie, you mentioned men and women. This is for everybody.
Absolutely.
It's not just a woman thing. And we, yes, obviously as moms, we know, we run around and so on, but men do that as well. What do kids do?
Absolutely. Exactly.
This applies to everybody. So let's give ourselves some self-love. Let's start the week off strong. Take care of ourselves so that we can take care of others even better than what we do right now.
Awesome. Phenomenal message. Thank you so much, Claudia. It's great to have you with us.
Thanks, Ange.
We're heading into a quick ad break, and then we will be sitting down with Neville and Helen. Stay tuned.
Mom. You're my best friend, okay? You're the funniest person I've met in the whole world. I love it when we play together, and my favorite is when we play makeup. You sometimes make me angry though, but that's okay. Nobody's perfect. When I'm older, I want to be pretty like you. Happy birthday, Mom.
Welcome back to GMNC. With me right now, I have Neville and Helen from Ndlondlo Reptile Park. Well done. Good morning, guys.
Good morning, Ange.
Great to have you guys with us.
Yeah.
Did you have a good long weekend?
Great. Great.
Neville, I think we have another friend with us this morning called the Red-Lipped Herald. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about this one?
Yeah, I want to start with the name Red-Lipped Herald. It's adapted.
Okay.
Right, it's actually a herald snake. Red lips, only in the frost belt zones.
Okay.
And there's a very interesting story involved with that.
Love to hear that.
You see, when you're a snake and you're living in the frost belt zones, your summer periods are shortened.
Okay.
Right, so although there's a lot of food to eat, you don't have a lot of time to eat it in.
Okay.
And these guys are hunted by all sorts of small predators. And because you're in an area where you can't eat a lot, genetically you'd have to be smaller so you can get through the year with less food.
Oh, okay.
And the smaller you are, the more mean you need to look. And so they put on the lipstick because there's nothing more terrifying than an angry woman, you know. So that's where the whole red lip thing comes in, you see.
Okay,
No,
so
the
red lipstick.
The red does make the mouth look bigger.
Okay.
And it does scare away the smaller predators.
does.
But when you come out of the frost belt zone, they lose the red lip and they get a lot bigger.
Okay.
So now they don't need to look that mean
Anymore. Okay, so the herald and the red lip, it's really the same.
It's the same
species.
snake.
It's just depending on where
Same
they are.
snake.
Okay.
And he's a little amphibian hunter. And they specialist feeders just on amphibians. They don't eat anything else. So it's quite amazing. Sometimes you get people that catch him, they keep them, they desperately want to feed them. They bring it to us in a bucket, and there's a bit of Maury biscuit. And
biscuit.
Seriously, and a gecko and stuff like that.
No snake will eat a Maury
And
biscuit.
yeah, well, you know, people just don't understand that. They
course,
think of it in terms of a cat or a dog or something like that, and they think, oh, it'll eat that. But here's a little dude,
Okay.
and I'm just going to do a quick rundown on him. This is a sort of fair average for our area. In the Highveld, where they're red-lipped, they'll be quite a bit smaller than this.
Okay.
They've got dark temples, and the head is darker than the rest of the body. When they feel a little threatened, they flatten their heads, almost adder-like. This guy's getting used to being handled. He doesn't want to do that. But yeah, when you're going to north of our border, Zambia and up that way, they talk about a black-templed cat snake or snake,
all
and
right.
that's it.
Can I
But
hold it?
I know you're dying to hold him.
I know.
He's a little bit
It's a
wriggly,
beautiful
but
snake though, hey?
yeah,
It's a bit wriggly, hey?
yeah. They are mildly venomous. Yeah, when I was at school,
Yes.
believe it or not, I did go. It was only a few days a year, but I went. We sort of believed that the venom would give you a headache.
Yes.
But the truth is that stress gave you the headache. The venom had nothing to do with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So if you get bitten by one of these, it's not something you need to be, it's not a rush up to the
Not at
hospital.
all.
No symptoms.
No.
Okay. And animals-wise, not...
Yeah, even for your cat or your dog, you know, if it was dangerous for a cat wouldn't fiddle with it.
Yes.
And yet they do.
You mentioned earlier to me that, cats are instinctive like that
Yeah.
they will not play with a venom. Why
Yeah.
is that?
They know.
They know, that's
Yeah,
phenomenal.
they know. Yeah.
Okay. And then these guys, how big do they get when they are fully grown?
We've caught the odd ones over the years that have gone to about 65, 70 centimeters,
Okay.
which is, you know, 3/4 of a meter,
Okay.
which is quite large.
Yes.
But, you know, those are those exceptional individuals, just like you get in people, the shorter and the taller guys. And,
Okay.
you know, so
Perfect. And in
that's
terms of,
basically.
do they lay eggs or do they give birth to live young?
Yeah, they're egg layers. And they're quite prolific egg layers, so they may lay up to about 4 clutches a year,
Oh, oh wow.
which
okay.
is, and they lay lots of eggs. They're very small little eggs, other than, or quite different to other snake eggs, they're almost round. They're not a strong oval.
Okay.
And the babies are minute when they come out. You wonder how they're going to survive, being an amphibian eater,
Yes, of
you
course.
know. But the hatches are almost timed with the tadpoles exiting the wetlands and the streams. So when the heralds start hatching, you see hundreds of these little toads hopping around,
No way.
and they grow very, very quickly.
Oh, really?
In general, a toad looks like a very non-nutritious
Okay.
meal, but it works for them. They're specialist feeders, so they're adapted, the biology is adapted to deal with that.
Okay. And is this one of the guys we will commonly see in our area?
Very common.
Is it? Okay.
This is the most common black mamba we call to catch.
Yes.
You know the 3 rules that govern snake identification: grey, black or brown, black mamba;
Yes.
green mamba.
Green mamba. 100.
Yeah. Fast, doesn't matter if you're pink with purple stripes, you're still a mamba of some description.
Yes.
And that's the same rule applies here.
It looks very different, but besides the black one's got obviously a black mouth. That's how you.
Yeah,
you
the
recognize
mambas have got lighter heads.
Okay.
You know, the head is a much lighter color and they're much paler to the front, whereas these guys tend to be darker.
Yes. Hundreds. And in terms of pets, look, I know a lot of people carry snakes as pets. I don't know what your opinion is on having snakes as pets. I find that my son's interested, hence me asking. But what is your take on that? And is this a type of snake that you could have as a pet?
Being a frog and toad eater, it's great in the summer months, but come winter, people want to keep them warm, to keep them from getting sick.
Yes, yeah.
And, you know, if you're keeping it in an enclosure, it lacks the proper sunlight that even we require to remain healthy through winter. We require sunlight. It lacks that, and then they do get sick unless you warm them up.
Okay,
And then you need to feed it.
of course.
And then to find frogs and toads is a bit of a mission. So mostly we encourage people, kids, to keep snakes that feed on rodents because those are readily available all year round. And but yeah, they do make great pets. I'll just say this, that snakes that feed on frogs and other amphibians, their poo is smelly, gooey, messy, just
Take no, parents.
black liquid.
Yes.
And they seem to find delight in spraying it all over the windows and the things and so on. So it's,
Okay.
yeah, no, it's not
Not
a
the
neat
greatest,
little
okay.
snake.
Hundreds.
A great starter is a forest cobra. They always poo in the water. It's easy to keep. No, I'm joking, guys. Please don't take me seriously. Right? Yeah.
That's great to know. Lucas, this is amazing. Again, how is your, I know just for our viewers, if they do want to reach you and they are, not sure, you come across a little snake like this and you're not sure what it is, where can they find you? How can they get hold of you?
Well, we created a Facebook group called Lower Zululand Snakes. We've got a bunch of very knowledgeable admins on there.
Okay.
A lot of people run to Facebook for an ID.
Yes.
And so we just found it necessary to do this
Oh, fantastic.
to accommodate that, but it's a specialist group.
Of course.
So now you're going to get professional and specialist
Advice,
ID.
opinions. Okay.
You put it on I Love Belito, and seriously, guys, I love all these community things, but half the guys got no clue about snakes.
Okay.
You know, the first comment is, "It's a black mamba, run for your life." You know. Yeah, right. You know.
Okay.
And so, yeah, we've got the Lower Zululand Snake Group. We're on WhatsApp,
Okay.
082 561 4969. Fire away. You don't have a mic, okay. and I can't remember a number. I get 2 numbers.
You don't know
mixed.
your mom's number. You're in trouble.
Oh, my phone remembers the number well.
Awesome. And then obviously the amazing park, your little setup there at Sugar Rush Park, absolutely phenomenal. I think for those of our viewers, if you are scared of snakes and you're not really knowledgeable about, the species, it's absolutely phenomenal. It changed my mind and my opinion about them, after my first visit. Absolutely phenomenal. So please go out there and support. It was great having you guys with us this morning. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you again next week.
Super.
Awesome. We're going into a quick ad break, and then we will be chatting to Grant Oosthuyzen from Get Inspired. Stay tuned.
Ballito TV is proud to be partnering with Vision 153 in this exciting Ladies' Morning, raising funds for those in need. The dates for this fundraising event is for the 16th of October. Reserve your spot now and help change a life.
Hi, I'm Debbie Jean. I'm a makeup artist and I have worked both locally and internationally. I really look forward to sharing my makeup secrets with you at our Ladies Image and Makeup Workshop. I'm going to be focusing mainly on eyes and eyebrows because now that we're all wearing masks, that's where the focus lies. So I hope to see you there.
Hi, good morning. My name is Roy Primmer from Vision 153. We are a registered Section 21 non-profit company. We have 800 beneficiaries. 95% of them are widows and orphans, of which the majority are under the age of 7 years old. So we encourage you to get active and get involved in the Image and Makeup Workshop on the 16th of October. So please book now, join us and make a difference and change a life. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Ange Phoenix from Colourworks International. We are an image consultant training academy who has been training and equipping women from across the world for over 30 years. I look forward to joining you on the 16th of October for our Image and Makeup Workshop, where I will be assisting you in identifying your own personal style profile. Book now and don't miss out. We'll see you there.
So as you've heard, the dates for this incredible fundraising event is for the 16th of October. Reserve your spot now, immediately. Book below on our link. We'll see you there.
I'm Monet.
I'm Mandy.
I'm Devon.
And we are
Ballito TV.
We are a streaming channel showcasing content-rich programming that appeals to a wide audience.
Ballito TV officially launched on the 1st of February 2021 and has already attracted over 500,000 viewers worldwide.
Viewers are able to select their preferred device and way in which to watch Ballito TV, either live on our Facebook page, our website, YouTube channel, or by downloading our app free from the Play Store.
Best of all, if you've missed one of our shows, catch up at your own convenience by visiting our catch-up platform on our website and our app.
Ballito TV offers a variety of advertising from as little as 1,000 Rand. So the misconception that advertising through this medium is out of reach for most businesses is totally incorrect.
Get in touch today by emailing hello@ballito.tv or send your name and details to our WhatsApp line on 066 232 1385 and we will give you a call.
Welcome back to GMNC. With me right now, we are going to be sharing a very inspiring story, and I'm so happy you guys are here this morning. We have Grant Oosthuyzen and his translator, Shanaz Sheikh, with him. Great to have you with us this morning. Thank you so much for coming through.
Thank you for having us.
It's only our pleasure. Before we get into your organization, Get Inspired, which I'm so excited to hear about, first tell us your story, Grant.
So I was born with cerebral palsy from birth. I am 29 years old and I do everything with my feet.
Amazing.
I've been to high school, I've been to university, I finished as a top 10 in
Unbelievable.
South Africa. My goal in life is to teach people about disabled people, because many people are uneducated. They think we can't do anything, but actually they can. They just need a bit of help, and it takes more time. So I am from Joburg, and
Okay, so he says that he's from Joburg. He also matriculated, as he said. He studied videography. He studied graphics design.
Phenomenal.
And he's got a diploma in graphics design.
Amazing. And I believe one of the top 10 in South Africa when
Yes.
he graduated.
Yes.
Phenomenal. Wonderful. And obviously you're born with cerebral palsy, you know, it puts limitations, and I think there's a perception behind it, and I think that's obviously where your organization started, where, you know, you went through life, you've got this potential, like you said, you graduated university, top 10, and now what? You know, what do we do? And, you know, I think a lot of people, and maybe our corporate, isn't ready or doesn't know how to introduce people with disabilities, right? And that's where really your passion came from, because you wanted to open a door and create something, you know.
I find when I finished university, many companies said, we would love to have you, but our office in the disabled places. South Africa did not hire many disabled people, and they should. By law, they should, but they don't. That is where I come in to say, but why? If we can do a job, you should make a way.
Absolutely.
We can work from home. We can work anywhere.
Exactly.
There is always a way.
Absolutely.
You just need to believe in a person.
100%. What a great attitude. I mean, I think what he's obviously saying is that attitude comes down. You can do anything. You know? This is, you know, this doesn't limit you as an individual. You're more than capable to do what anybody else can do in a corporate environment, which obviously led to the creation of Get Inspired, which is your non-profit organization that you created. Would you guys like to share a little bit more about that?
Okay, so as he says that in the work environment, not a people gave disabled a chance. They always looked down on them and felt like they couldn't do it. So that's where Grant came in. So he says, you know what, I'm going to open this organization dedicated to the disabled people, where they can come in and be practical with their hands, because a lot of them are so talented.
Absolutely.
And it's phenomenal watching them, like use their hands, and they make an effort. They're just natural.
Obviously, because there's so much passion there, you know. And it's
You'll swear that you're sitting next to a person that's fully able with their hands.
phenomenal.
So that's where he came in and said, you know what, I'm going to open this for you guys, where they can get some sort of practice and they can
education,
exactly,
and grow themselves,
and
skills
also,
development.
yes, and on the side they get a bit of
commission.
Commission as well.
Yes, so there's also an income for them.
So if I understand correctly, so what you guys do is obviously you take or you invite disabled people, you teach them the skills, whether it be, I think you guys mentioned woodworking.
We do skills development, woodwork, arts and crafts, and also Grant does a disabled washer spot with them as well.
Unbelievable, that's amazing. And then what you do is obviously that you then auction, can I say auction or sell their creations
products
off, and then I think half, you said half of the proceeds goes to the individual, obviously for them to earn some money, and the other half goes back into the organization for more materials and logistics and all those type of things. Absolutely phenomenal. And is that just in Durban area, or are you guys rolling that out throughout the country?
Right now we're in Durban because we have 45 disabled people a week.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
But we are hoping to move and make it bigger in the future. But it do take manpower because people need to give time.
Exactly.
That is a problem. People don't have time to come on board. But we hope in the future, because even in Bradfield, there is disabled people, and we would love to help them if we can. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, we've got a great community in Ballito.
Yeah.
For our viewers, if they want to get involved and they want to support you guys, how do they get hold of you? Where do they find you?
So we do have a Facebook page, if you go to type get a shower in PR, it will come up. Or you can go on our website.
Okay, the website.
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Guys, thank you so much for joining us this morning. It's such an inspiration. And I call on all our viewers, get involved, get inspired. I mean, this is absolutely amazing. It just shows you there's nothing that can hold us back. If the passion is there, the skill is there, there's so much we can do. Thank you so much. Great having you guys with us. And best of luck going forward. Thank you, Ron. We're going into a quick ad break, and then we will be chatting to Managay Pillay, our local tourism warrior. Stay tuned.
From Waka Travel, Leisure and Corporate from Durban, Ndlondlo. With over 20 years experience and 8 years of operation, we are so excited to see travel slowly opening up again after a long 18 months during these COVID times. We specialize in domestic and international worldwide travel and cater to the needs of each individual traveler's preference and budget. Excellent service is our #1 priority, so booking trips for special occasions, birthdays, honeymoons, anniversaries, be sure to know we will go the extra mile to make sure it's a memorable and unforgettable trip. So, whether you want to go to famous Mauritius, Seychelles, Maldives, we have the place for you. Do you want to go cruising the Med, the Caribbean? We've got the cruise lines for you and give you all the information you need to cruise the best holiday ever. Or do you want to go to Mexico, arriba, arriba? Whatever your heart desires, we have the place for you to go. Give Waka Travel a call on 031 562 0764 or find us on Facebook under Waka Travel Leisure and Corporate, where you can message, email or WhatsApp us anytime for your inquiries. We look forward to making your travel dreams come true, because travel is the only thing that we buy that makes us richer.
Welcome back to GMNC. With me right now, I have Managay Pillay. Great to have you with us. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you kindly. It's lovely to be here.
Fantastic. Managay, before we get into it, we're going to be talking about our little region and local tourism. But first of all, tell us a little bit who you are and what it is that you do.
I'm just a local girl.
Okay.
I'm very passionate about where I live and trying to promote economy for our local area. I play in the NGO sector quite strongly, and just local.
What is your involvement in the local tourism side of things?
Well, I still do some work for the Regal Inn hotels. I used to be in the hospitality industry. I also help a friend of mine who sits on South African tourism. So I do feel that there are issues to be addressed. We need to drive more feet into the area to grow the economy. And looking at where we are with the pandemic and the downfall of the tourism sector, I thought it was pertinent to just have a quick chat.
Absolutely. Great to have you with us. I really think it's going to be insightful. And I think there's always a way a community can get involved and do something, and stand together. So we're going to be chatting about your views in terms of the pros and cons regarding the local tourism industry, obviously in our region. So firstly, let's start off by what has been done by the local tourism board, in our region. What have they accomplished thus far?
Well, I had a chat to Lembe, Enterprise Lembe, and they have long-term goals that they are working on, like the Club Med project and the Blightdale Coastal Resort. However, currently they are trying to do damage control with the recent riots that we have, and of course get people vaccinated so that we make this a safe zone area. having said all that, you know, my concern lies with people, the younger set, that are now moving off to Umhlanga, Durban. We are losing the younger people. What are we doing to entertain them here?
Of course.
And that is a great challenge, because these are the money spenders. These are the youngsters that are
100%.
moving around.
Why do you think it is that they're leaving?
I don't think we have enough to entertain them. You know, if we look at the way Ballito is perceived,
Yes.
we are a lifestyle and a retirement place. We need to get out of that. We need to drive more feet here.
Of course.
We need to be bringing more events. I've spoken to local hoteliers. We do not have a sporting ground that can host events, like in Cape Town, just to quote, Greenpoint. Their stadium converts into a sporting arena, a musical festival. We don't have that.
Of course, yes.
Quadgusa Stanger used to have something that is now no longer. So what do we have to host a big sporting event?
Okay.
Right? And then we do not have enough activities at the beach. We have the perfect weather all year round.
Hundreds.
We just have one, the Ballito surf.
Yes. And that's it. And I mean, we've got the most beautiful beaches.
We can do volleyball. We can do soccer. We can do beach rugby. Why aren't we exploring these avenues?
Hundreds. I suppose the process to get that going and off the ground, you know, takes
Of course.
and it obviously needs to go through the authorities, and it could take time.
Absolutely, but let's have the conversation.
Absolutely. Hundreds. Where does that begin, though? Does it begin with the residents, or do you start talking to municipalities? Where does that go?
Well, you know, I just think if there's a body that's an independent body that drives it and addresses the authorities, then you have some force behind to say, look, we need to bring this here. We need to do this. I was just listening to Grant now. We haven't, I don't think there's anywhere in the North Coast or in KZN that has paraplegic facilities to host a paraplegic sporting event.
Absolutely.
I mean, how cool would that be if we were the first?
Hundreds, absolutely.
You know.
So that's obviously stuff that needs to be done and that we need to work on. If you can just tell us a little bit more about what is currently being done. Are there any projects these guys are working on currently to obviously grow the local economy? Is there anything besides obviously the Bradfield resort and all those type of things? Anything on a smaller scale, short-term projects that's currently in the pipeline?
No, and you know, we have like some gems here. We have the Lutuli Museum that's international, world renowned.
Yes.
And they have some beautiful talks at the museum. You can drive feet there. We have Lucky Linton. These are historical, beautiful areas to go and take your family to. But we are not highlighting these areas. And this sort of, we are failing the area.
No. 100%.
Let me put it
no, we
that
are
way.
definitely. And you know, you're talking about some of these places, and I've never heard of them.
Yeah.
And you know, that's my next question. How does our local authorities play a role in those areas? Because obviously those are personally owned, you know, venues, like
privately. Yeah.
Exactly. And how is the local authorities involved at all when it comes to promoting those type of things? Is there anything?
Well, this is it. You know, I think we should look for the hidden gems.
Yes.
I brought somebody from KZN, South African Tourism KZN, and we went to the Grand Exotic. She was bowled over.
100%. It's one of the most beautiful
over.
places I've ever seen in my life.
Never heard of that. I mean, these are beautiful. There's a lovely little place up north, just up the north coast, called Wouldn't It Be Nice? People haven't heard of it. These are little houses in the trees where you can go and spend a weekend.
Absolutely. I know.
Why aren't we talking to these people? Why aren't we driving feet into the area? I do understand it's COVID, but it's only 2 years. What about previously?
Exactly, that's not really an excuse, is it?
Yeah, no.
I think everybody's using COVID as an excuse for everything right now, but life also needs to carry on. So from your point of view, what can be done? I mean, obviously people need to get involved, and like you say, maybe an organization or a board needs to be formed that drives this.
And I think, you know, like going on road shows with the Enterprise in Lembe, I think because trade sells and makes the deals, and they need to take people of the hospitality and tourism sector with them on the road shows.
Of course, yes.
Not everybody, but you can give everybody a chance and show what hidden gems we have here.
Of course. And
So I've always maintained trade makes the deals and seals the deals. So.
coming from experiences.
Yeah.
Managay,
So-
for our viewers, if anybody wants to get hold of you and just talk to you about this or have
Yeah,
great
with pleasure.
ideas, how do they get hold of you?
Well, I on my mobile, 082 922 922. Please call me so that we can start something to drive more feet into our area. And I think we need to reinvent, to be more vibrant and to get young people to start believing this is the place and this is what they need for the area.
And not just, even the older generation. Again, we've got one of the most relaxed, beautiful.
Absolutely.
It's rejuvenating, it's calm, it's peaceful. We've got all the basics. You don't really want to be in big cities. You want to be in a place, where it's kind of scaled down and everybody, is just happy with beautiful weather and beautiful beaches at the end of the day.
We're sitting very correctly poised, eh? So I can't see why we are not. I know we are the fastest developing area, but why isn't the economy growing equally as fast?
Absolutely, and I think infrastructure is also going to play a role there.
Well, that's what Enterprise Lembe is also working on, and I'm omitted, sorry. I should have mentioned that they are talking to government to release funding for the development of infrastructure, because without that, you can't grow.
Absolutely.
Yeah. No, they are working on that as well. Yeah.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Managay, thank you so much for joining
Oh,
us.
it's been a pleasure.
I think it's amazing, and just a call on our viewers again to get in touch. If you guys have fantastic ideas, let's help grow this region. It will benefit all of us.
Yeah.
In the interim. Hope
Thank
to
you,
see
Catherine.
you soon, and I look forward to seeing what you're going to come up with.
Well, let's try. We can only try. Thank you
Absolutely.
kindly, Ange.
Only a
Thank you.
pleasure.
Bye-bye. Bye.
We're going into a quick ad break, and then we will have our pre-recorded interview with Gail Bradfield from Performance Coffee. Stay tuned.
You're broken down and tired of living life on the merry-go-round, and you can't find a fighter, but I see it in you, so we gon' walk it out. Move mountains, we gon' walk it out and move mountains. And I'll rise like the day. I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. And I'll rise up, I like the waves. I'll rise up, in spite of the ache. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again.
Dom's B&B is a proud sponsor of the Vinci International Film Academy Awards. Situated in Ballito on the stunning Dolphin Coast, At Dom's B&B is an exquisite luxury 6-bedroom guest house that can accommodate 14 to 16 people. At Dom's B&B we are practically on the foot of the ocean. With us being so close to the sea, we have sounds of waves echoing in the ears of our guests.
The winners of the Best Director Award will each win a one-night stay for two at Dom's B&B to the value of 1,750 Rand.
Welcome back to our Good Morning North Coast show. In studio with me this morning, I've got Gail from Performance Coffee. Gail, welcome.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Gail, first of all, I have to say thank you so much for being the most amazing sponsor. Guys, if it wasn't for Gail and Jura, the coffee machine that we are sponsored, I don't think any of us would be awake in the mornings.
Definitely not at 6 o'clock.
No, you've been an absolute lifesaver, Gail. Thank you so much. It's really kind of you guys to be sponsoring us in the morning show. Gail, Performance Coffee, I mean, it's quite a big brand, and I mean, you guys are the authorized distributors for Jura coffee machines. Tell us a bit more about your brand.
Great. Well, Performance have been operating for, we're 23 years old, and the arm of Performance office is Performance Coffee, and that we started a year ago, in COVID, during COVID times.
Yeah.
We are the distributor for Jura in KZN. So we service machines, we sell machines, we sell all the care products, because coffee machines, when you're using milk, you need care products to make sure your machine is in top
Of course,
quality.
it kind of gets gooey and it sticks and clogs on the inside, yes.
Yeah, so that's very important. You don't want old protein in your coffee. So with the cleaning products, it just keeps your machine in top quality, your coffee good quality.
And when you say in KZN, what area does it stretch from? From, I think it's Richards Bay?
Yeah, we're based in Durban. Yes. We have an office in Durban where people, if you need your machine serviced, they drop the machine off in our Durban office.
Okay.
We have a workshop. We have a qualified Jura technician. Machines can get very dirty if you haven't cleaned them for a while, so it's really important that you have a service, and we take that machine into our workshop. Can't be done on your property.
No.
And so we do cover the whole of KZN.
Oh, wow.
So we, Richards Bay, Port Shepstone, Maritzburg. Yes, we've recently done a machine and installation up in the Midlands. So yeah, the whole of KZN.
And I know, like you say, like the aftercare and the looking after the machine is very important. How often do we need to clean the machine ourselves before we bring them in for service? Because now we have to do, change the filters or what are the goodies that we throw in there. We have to obviously clean the machine. How regularly should one be doing that?
So you've got your Jura coffee machine. Coffee is mainly made up of water. So each machine has a filter, and that has a lifespan, and it depends. When we install machines, because when you buy a machine from us, we deliver it, we install it, we set it up, we do a water test to see the pH, and we set the machine accordingly. Very important.
That is so clever.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't even have thought of that.
Very important, because everyone's water is different.
Yeah.
Belito's water is different to Westfall's water. So we set it accordingly, and as I mentioned, coffee is 98% made up of water, so your water must be good. So every machine has a filter. If you're using milk products, at the end of each day, I'm neurotic about people cleaning it, so that it cleans. It's a little tablets, pop it in, the machine tells you what to do. It's very,
so it's not complicated.
Very easy. These are automatic coffee machines. So if you have a look at the one that you've got here, if you want a cappuccino, you just push the button, put your cup there, and you get a cappuccino.
I mean, this one is phenomenal.
So
we absolutely love it.
yeah,
And the quality as well is just amazing. And then after cleaning your machine, I mean, I know I've sometimes wondered, is it poisonous, the tablets that you put in there? Should you then wash out the machine before reusing it? Or is it quite fine?
No, what happens is that you've got a little container, so you put your tablets in there, and the machine itself, when it does the cleaning cycle, and it tells you, wait for 2 minutes. It takes water from your tank and cleans through, and 100% safe.
And you can carry on refill with water, and that is absolutely amazing. And then, Gail, obviously there's a big drought. People love their coffee machines, but of course there are many coffee shops out there. Are you finding there's a bigger drive in the home area more than in the coffee sector, or your clientele?
Well, our machines range from 12,000 Rand to 112,000 Rand. So there are different applications for all machines. We have found that the machines go into homes. A lot of people want a good cup of coffee when they wake up in the morning.
Of course.
And a lot of the machines are going into businesses as well.
Okay.
Also, COVID has changed things a bit, where people are now staying in the office and they're wanting a good cup of coffee.
Of course.
So as I say, all the Dura machines are fully automatic. They are not, I'll say to everybody, they're not cheap and cheerful. They're expensive machines. They're extremely good quality machines. Recently had somebody come in and see us. They wanted to buy something else, and I said, just come and have a look at the machine. And he came in and he had a look. He said, now I know what you're talking about. I can see the quality. Because Dura, it's a Swiss
That was my next question. Where is it from?
Yeah, comes from Switzerland.
Can't go wrong
All
there.
research development is done in Switzerland. And Dura concentrate on, that's all we do, coffee machines. We don't do irons or kettles or anything like that.
No, that's your forte.
We specialize in that product, in coffee machines. So you also can't buy them in a retail store. You can only buy them from a distributor, or there are a handful of dealers.
So should we come to the premises, or can we purchase online and collect, or do you do deliveries? What would be the best for?
Yeah, we have, I normally chat to the people to find exactly what their needs are, because there's such a wide range of coffee machines. You need to make sure that you are recommending the right machine. We do have a website you can go on there and order directly if you want to, but people normally contact me because they want to know, are they looking at the right machine? We also have a showroom with machines, which is also very important. You're spending good money. You're investing in a good piece of equipment. And most people like to actually see the machine and taste the coffee and see how it works. So we do have the showroom where people.
But that is fantastic, because I mean, you have to go and you have to live it, you have to believe it, you have to, you know, the brand sells itself.
Once somebody comes in and all I say to them is, now make your own cup of coffee, because it's literally pushing a button.
Exactly.
And that's they normally walk out with a machine, because it's just so easy.
You haven't found that certain coffee beans work a bit better with your coffee machines, or is it just?
We have our own coffee beans as well, but as long as it's good quality coffee beans. Coffee beans can have stones in them. If it's not good quality beans, you can find stones in your coffee bean. And when the coffee beans go into your grinder, obviously it grinds your coffee. It doesn't do very well with stones, so you can damage your machine. So don't go
buying the cheap,
nasty. Do good quality beans.
I didn't know that, And of course, the effect that it'll have on the machine. When it comes to a service, do you lose your warranty if some damage because of stones?
If you put beans into the machine and it has stones, and you will lose your warranty on that.
Shows you. For me, as a consumer, not knowing that, I mean, I'd be quite upset not knowing that there's stones in here. And what is the warranty or the life expectancy on a machine?
Very difficult to say, because they range from a small machine right the way up. However, having said that, if you go onto our Facebook page last week, actually, I put a picture of a machine, the inside of a machine. Our technician took the covers off, he cleaned it, so you can see the grinder itself. That particular machine on our Facebook page is 13 years old and is still going. And as I say, have a look at it, because it really is. It's been serviced regularly, and that's also a very important thing when it comes to servicing. You wouldn't drive your car for 5 years without having service.
No, definitely
very
not.
important to keep your machine in good quality, and obviously the quality of your coffee. And we can still get parts for that machine. So that's another very important thing, is that you need to know that, once again, you're investing in a good quality product, and there is backup and there is support. As I say, that machine on Facebook is 13 years old and is still working. So
Jeepers, I mean, that's the one thing. And then when it comes to services, how regularly should we service a machine?
I say to clients, depending on how much you're using your machine, obviously in a sort of an office environment, they would do a lot more cups a day. But we generally say service once a year.
Once a year.
And
that's
as
reasonable.
I say,
that's very
machine
reasonable.
comes in, we take it to the workshop, clean it out, change O-rings, give it a full service. So you get it back, and many times people that haven't had their machine serviced for 2 or 3 years actually phone us and say, I cannot believe the taste of my coffee now, because everything's been cleaned. Yeah.
Isn't that just great? It's so nice learning about it. I mean, we all love our coffee, but we don't really understand the technology behind making your cup of coffee. And if it's a good quality machine, you get good quality coffee at the end of the day.
Absolutely, yeah.
Oh, Gail, it's been so lovely having you with us this morning. Thank you so much. And once again, thank you so much for our sponsoring. I mean, like I said, the coffee standard is absolutely amazing. I mean, all our guests that come in here rave about the coffee. We rave about the coffee. Thank you so much for being one
Only
of our
a
main
pleasure,
sponsors.
and thank you very much. I'm glad everyone enjoys their 6 o'clock cup of coffee.
Get our buzz on early.
Get
with
your performance
your
going for the day.
Yes, yes, yes.
So yeah, it is Performance Coffee, and my email is Gail, G-A-R-L, @Performance Coffee. If I can help in any way as far as service or sales or care products, yeah.
Thank you so much, Gail. It's really lovely having you
You're
here.
welcome.
Go view them on Facebook. You've got Gail's email address. I promise you, you're not going to go wrong with these coffee machines. After the ad break, we'll be right back. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Your Weather for Today, brought to you by Bellito Gas and Braai. Ek hoop julle het 'n lekker naweek gehad en ek hoop vandag se weer kikker al die beneekte boksupporters op vandag. Dit is lekker warm vandag with a high of 33 degrees and a low of 19 degrees. The real feel will be 33 degrees as well, and the real feel shade will be 31 degrees. We have a northeasterly wind at 20 kilometers per hour and wind gusts at 35 kilometers per hour. Also 0% chance of showers today. The sunrise will be at 5:39 a.m. and the sunset at 5:54 p.m. Pretoria will be mostly sunny and nice with a high of 29 degrees and a low of 16 degrees. Joburg will be partly sunny but warm with a high of 27 degrees and a low of 16 degrees. And Cape Town will have some sun but will be turning cloudy afterwards with a high of 19 degrees and a low of 12 degrees. Next up will be your surf report brought to you by Pillay Skryfbehoeftes and Deon Bosman from Victory Surf. See you tomorrow.
Good morning, Bellito, and welcome to Monday morning's beach report. And if you're up early this morning, it's a good idea because the waves are firing. It's really, really good in Bellito this morning, and we're going to get a light offshore breeze until about 10 o'clock this morning. Really good conditions, nice big swell, and proper southwesterly conditions until about 10. After that, the onshore is going to come through, and the kiteboarders will have fun at Tiffany's Reef again this afternoon, and definitely 20 to 30 knots expected, but a lovely, lovely day in Bellito today. Nice for the first day of the school holidays, and a great day to be on the beach. 30 degrees expected, and low tide around lunchtime, so definitely good surf in the morning and great beach weather this afternoon. Enjoy your Monday. It's a cracker day on the East Coast.
Morning sports fans, let's kick it off with some football news. And Liverpool ended the weekend on top of the Premier League, but Manchester City were the big winners as they were the only one of the top four to win. City got revenge on Chelsea after losing last season's Champions League final by reversing the score from Porto in a 1-0 win at Stamford Bridge. Manchester United's 1-0 home defeat to Aston Villa and Liverpool's 3-3 draw at Brentford rounded off the perfect day for Pep Guardiola's men. All four sides are now separated by just 1 point after 6 matches. But Brighton could go top this evening with a victory over Crystal Palace. Moving to some selected results from the weekend in the Premier League: Everton 2, Norwich 0, Leicester 2, Burnley 2, Southampton 0, Wolves 1, and Arsenal back in form with a 3-1 victory over Spurs. Moving to some DStv Premiership news now: Swanee Giants, Mamelodi Sundowns, and SuperSport United maintained their good form in the DStv Premiership by recording victories on match day 5. A brace from Peter Shalolile inspired Sundowns to a 2-0 victory over Orlando Pirates on Saturday, with the Soweto Giants recording their first league defeat of the current league campaign. Sundowns, who are the defending champions, are sitting at the top of the league standings, 2 points clear of SuperSport United. In selected results from the DStv Premiership: Amazulu 1, Baraka FC 0, Royal AM 4, TS Galaxy 2, and Marumo Gallant 0, Kaizer Chiefs 0. Moving to some rugby news, and the world champion Springboks have pledged to stick to their kicking game plan despite the 3-match losing streak, giving New Zealand plenty to work on ahead of their rematch this weekend. Coach Jacques Nienaber replied with a blunt, "I don't think so," when asked if he changed tactics after a 78-minute Geordie Barrett penalty gave the All Blacks a 19-17 victory in the Rugby Championship test in Townsville on Saturday. It followed back-to-back losses to Australia, but Nienaber maintained their relentless kicking game was working, even if it meant handing possession back to the opposition. In the other Castlelager Rugby Championship match, the Wallabies were too strong for Argentina, defeating them 27-8. In some provincial rugby news, and the local rugby teams ventured into Europe, and not a great weekend for the South African sides, just the Lions doing the business over Zebre 38-26. Benetton Rugby far too strong for the Stormers in the last period, 22-18 victors there. Leinster with a convincing 31-3 defeat to the Bulls, and Munster too strong for the Sharks, 42-17. Moving to some cricket news now, news from the IPL, and Harsha Patel claimed a hat-trick to help dismiss the Mumbai Indians for just 111 to hand the Royal Challengers Bangalore a 54-run victory in the Indian Premier League clash played at the Dubai International Stadium in Dubai on Sunday. Rohit Sharma had early won the toss and elected to bowl first, with RCB posting 165 for 6 with half centuries from Virat Kohli 51 and Glenn Maxwell 56, with Jasprit Bumrah claiming 3 for 36. In reply, Patel's hat-trick in support with Chahal of 4 overs of 3 for 11 and Maxwell 4 overs 2 for 32 helped Kohli's men restrict defending champions to their lowest IPL total with an important victory. And some golf news in case you missed it through the night. The United States crushed Europe 19-9 to recapture the Ryder Cup on Sunday in a performance Steve Stricker called the greatest of all time. Colin Morikawa, the 24-year-old world number 3, delivered the winning half point that they needed to tie the match with Victor Holland in the Whistling Straits. He was one of 8 20-somethings on the US team that featured 9 of the world's top 11, all gunning to regain the coveted trophy won by Europe in France 3 years ago. And finally, if you missed it, some F1 news. Lewis Hamilton won the Russian Grand Prix for his 100th Formula One Grand Prix victory on Sunday, and treacherous rain, the 7-time world champion, reached an unprecedented century in his Mercedes after being stuck on 99 since the British Grand Prix way back in July. Hamilton also claimed the championship lead by 2 points from Max Verstappen, who finished second. I'm Matt Williams for Good Morning North Coast Sports. You have yourself an awesome sporting week, and we'll catch you back here on Friday. It's back over to Ange.
Thank you, Matt.
Thanks, Ange.
And that brings us to the end of our Good Morning North Coast show for today. Thank you again to all our guests, our sponsors, and our viewers. We will be closing out with a music showcase from Ricky Faber, followed by Laugh Out Larry for the young ones. Join us again tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. We'll see you there.
jy vrede vind. Kaal gat hier in my baby ons dans. Kaal gat hier sonder in die biesies baby ons dans. Kaal gat hier met jou drome in jou agterplaas. Met vooruitsigte so ver. Dan dans jy soek in kalgat in die reën. Soek na iets wat jy herken.